Up or River Road.
Okay.
Detail services like
You ready?
or waxes. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'm ready.
10 cents off per gallon of gas at Fabulous Freddy's.
Give us 60 seconds and we'll go.
Proud sponsor of Region 10 basketball. They work hard to be active in the community and have received the 2022 Subaru Love Promise Customer and Community Commitment Award. Come reserve your new Subaru at Finley Subaru on the saving side of the freeway or Finley.
Hey, Rory, let's go right now after this commercial.
Morgan Pest Control has been killing what
Sorry, I started one more.
1962. Morgan continues
But yeah, after this one, I'll start.
with the 60 for Schools program. You can call 673-9172 or go to morganpestcontrol.com and just look for their red trucks.
Welcome into high school basketball on the Fan Sports Network on a Wednesday night showcase in Region 10 hoops from the field house at Crimson Cliffs as the Mustangs, the home team, take on their crosstown rivals, the Desert Hills Thunder. Good evening. Glad you're with us. Welcome into the Finley Subaru pregame show. Go see the all-star lineup on the saving side of the freeway. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, also Gage Fulford with us tonight. And we are coming at you on the simulcast on the Fan. Also, you can watch this game on the fansportsnetwork.com. In fact, if you're looking for any of the three boys basketball games, all three of them streaming the fansportsnetwork.com. So if you're looking for those other games tonight, you're driving home for the evening, you can watch your favorite team coming at you with the trifecta tonight, Ben, but we think this one might be the best of them all tonight.
Oh, Devin, I think so. It's Wednesday night, and it feels like it's Friday night, late season. This is only our second week of Region 10 basketball, and I'll tell you what, the band's out, the crowd is out, and I've heard that the social media people are out too, chirping about the crosstown rivals, Desert Hills versus the Crimson Mustangs.
Let's go. This is going to be fun. I mean, last week we know Crimson lost by 11 to Snow Canyon. You and I were at that game, and then they bounced back in a big way against Cedar, so they split last week.
Yeah, the big story of that too was the play of Owen Mackey and the loss for Crimson of Phoenix McWillis. And so tonight, Phoenix back. He had a great bounce back game against Cedar. I think he had double-digit points that night, really helped them athletically on defense and offense. And so this is an interesting matchup because you have Desert Hills, who's undersized. You've got Crimson, who has to make a move this week to really stay in that region hunt. You know, going down 1-2 this early could be difficult heading into the Region 10 play.
And Desert Hills is undefeated. Now they played Hurricane and beat them. They beat a good feisty Hurricane team really badly, winning by 40+ points. I mean, it was an emphatic win. They were pressing and running and gunning to offset their lack of size. So 2 wins last week. They're up to 9-3, and they're climbing up the RPI rankings. But this might be their first real test of the season.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about Desert Hills is they play similar to Crimson in that they're scrappy, they're athletic, they make you do things you don't want to do on defense, and so it's going to be a lot of similar styles defensively. I think for Desert Hills they're going to have to do some scheming to really challenge Crimson and make it difficult for them all night, but I really think we're going to see them do that, Devin.
Yeah, I hope so. We're in for a good one. This is the Finley Subaru pregame show. Glad you're with us tonight on the simulcast. The other games tonight going on, you've got a couple other choices, and we'll get you score updates from Nets on Fire all night long on those other games tonight. And Cedar is at the Jungle to take on the Snow Canyon Warriors, and Dixie is over at the Pit to take on the Pineview Panthers. Your thoughts quickly on those other matchups tonight?
Well, I had a chance to see Cedar play. I think that's going to be in the Jungle for Snow Canyon. I like them there. Dixie, Pineview, I think you're going to see Pineview. You know, they were able to stay in that Snow Canyon game that we covered last week on the Fan as well. But I think ultimately you're going to see Dixie pull away and you're going to see Snow Canyon pull away.
Yep, Dixie is number 2 in the latest RPI. Skyview comes in at number 1. Snow Canyon actually enters at number 7. This Crimson Mustang team is at number 8 based to that head-to-head loss. So this is actually number 3 versus number 8 in the RPI. If you want to look at the RPI this early, it's going to change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're second week in to the Region 10 play, and so a lot of things can happen. I think this week and next week is you're going to start to see some of that cream rise to the top. But overall, it's going to be a competitive year, I think, in the region. I think you got 3 or 4 teams that can really compete for it, and both of these teams are in that.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, dive into the Finley Subaru keys to the game. High school basketball coming your way tonight on the Fan Sports Network, presented by Boulevard Home. Stay with us, everybody.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Region 10 Athletics.
Fan Sports Network pregame show brought to you by our good friends at Finley Subaru. Go check out the killer deals right now. Get some great deals. Just kick off the 2023 year over there on the savings side of the freeway. They will take care of you from sales, parts to service. Finley Subaru. Go see the all-star lineup today. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist getting ready here for the Mustangs and the Thunder. And these two teams know each other well. Chris Allred, the head coach of the Thunder, and Kent Fairborn, the head coach of the Mustangs. And what do you think is going to be pivotal for the coaches? What have they been preaching Monday, Tuesday practices as far as keys to the game? We'll start with the Mustangs, the home team.
Yeah, I think for Crimson it's going to be similar to what the story's been all season, which is limiting turnovers. You know, they're great at staying in the game. They're great at resisting the runs. But I'll tell you what, the turnovers have cost them all season. And maybe that Snow Canyon game was just out of character for the amount and the volume they had. But, you know, I think if they can keep themselves in the game, they're really deadly. But we saw it last week against Snow Canyon when that lead slipped to double digits. They just don't have the firepower behind the line to really kind of make huge runs. They have to do it with their defense. They have to do it with their rebounding, getting out into transition and getting these baskets. For Desert Hills, you know, this is a team that's undersized. When you look at other teams in the region, they're just not, they don't have the size that they've usually had over the years. And so you're going to see them defensively really trying to scheme and create havoc. And then on offense, where they're going to make their living is if they can get hot, similar to how they got hot versus Hurricane, they're going to be in trouble for Crimson because they're just so powerful from behind that three-point line. And, you know, shooters, it's one thing to have shooters, Devin. It's what we always say. You got to have makers. And if Desert Hills has makers tonight, this could be a dangerous game for Crimson.
You know, and I go back to, I had the Desert Hills blowout win last Friday night, and, you know, it was 65%. I mean, you shoot 65% at the high school level, you usually will win by 20 plus. You combine that with Hurricanes' struggles with the turnovers and the foul shooting, and it ended up being a blowout. I don't think Crimson's defense is going to allow that kind of game tonight. I expect this one to be a tight one. Yeah, I think this is our first real region game with school back in session, and so. Oh, we got some crowd up here. You want to come see some celebrities? We got the crowd up here. I'll tell you what. But this is our first real region game with students back in.
starts Wednesday night. Like I said, it feels a little like Friday night with the crowd already looking out here early. We got the band, we got the ROTC. I think this is going to be one of those nights where the crowd is going to be loud. You got a lot of these Crimson kids that used to go to Desert Hills just a few short years ago, or grew up going and playing against all these Desert Hills guys. And so this is a rivalry game, and I think there's always a little extra in the crowd, and there's certainly a little extra on the court.
I wonder what the minutes are going to be like tonight, because Coach Allred, if he's going to press all night, he's going to go a little deeper in the bench, and we'll see if Coach Fairborn has to counter that and go a little bit deeper into the bench tonight. By the way, the Desert Hills JV team just did win over the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, and we'll see a couple of those players probably get some minutes in this game, this varsity game tonight here. Tip off in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, you got a couple of the JV guys I expect to see on the floor. They shot it really well. I think in all three levels, sophomore, JV, and varsity, they play very similar. I wouldn't say they live and die by the three-pointer, because they like to take their opportunities and they don't force it. But if they get going and you're not ready on defense, they'll hit one right in your face.
9-3 are the Thunder, 7-4. You look at some of the leading scorers coming into tonight. Chomp Jones, 9.4 points per game. Good to see him healthy. He's torn his ACL twice in his high school career. We'll see a lot of him for Coach Allred and the Thunder. Eli Allred is their leading scorer, the 14.3 points per game. He's twitchy. He can jump. He can really. We saw him with a house of jump dunk in that Hurricane win the other night. Jackson Holman, the junior, has provided a nice little scoring punch this year, averaging 6.8 points per game. One of their seniors, Landon Espelin, 4.3 points per game. And then the leading scorer for them with Allred is Lincoln Holmes, 14.9 points per game. And then Boston Holbrook, a solid guy that can do a little bit of everything for you, can dish it, can go try to help out in the block with the rebounding, and he scores 8.8 points per game. It will be interesting to see who guards Houston Johnson, who guards Phoenix McWillis, who guards Sean Feltz, some of the size that this Jordan Eaton, for that matter, who's guarding him, because, man, he's one of the best scorers in all 4A.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an awkward matchup for both teams, right? Usually it favors one or the other. You got guys that have size and they really are able to take advantage. But in this case, you've got, you have some scrappy guys that are shooters and slashers for Desert Hills, but then on Crimson, you got guys that are big, physical. It'll be interesting to see if they take it into the post and really try and execute it for Crimson, and if they're able to contain Desert Hills from the three-point line. And I think we'll see pretty early who's calm and collect, and that'll be based on turnovers, that'll be based on shot selection. But this is one of those ones where if you're either coach, you're saying, don't get caught up in the crowd, don't get caught up in the environment. Let's make sure that we came and we set the tone early so that we have control of the game, not the other way around.
Lincoln Holmes just knocked down a warm-up three-pointer. Jordan Eaton working on some mid-range J's. Jordan Eaton comes in 20.6 points per game. He has had a couple games where he's just put this team on his back and willed them to victory. And despite only the 7-4 record, I think everybody in the region knows they better bring their A game against the Mustangs, especially here at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the coaches are probably going, okay, do we just stop Jordan? And if we do that, can we win a game? I think that'll be the key for Crimson as the season goes on, is can they evolve? Can they find spots for other guys to be impactful? And for Desert Hills, you got a guy like you mentioned, Lincoln Holmes, hitting that three. He's a guy that I think you've covered him over the years. I've seen him play over the years. Boy, if he gets one or two early on, look out, because he can catch fire.
Yeah, no question. He didn't start the last couple games, missed a couple games, but since he's been back, he's been in fuego, team high 21 last Friday. Behind Jordan Eaton, though, where will the scoring come from? Well, a variety of guys. McWillis averaging 10 a game, 6 a game from Still Barben. Sweeten, 5.5 a game. Sean Feltz, the junior big man, 4.5 a game. Houston Johnson, 7.1 points per game. And then you've got Scoop Johnson, the point guard, 7.7 points per game. So behind Jordan on a given night, 2 or 3 guys got to step up for Coach Kent Fairborn. We'll see who it is tonight. We're getting you ready for the tip-off. We're going to take one final break for our great national anthem. This has been the Findlay Subaru pregame show. Starting lineups presented by House of Jump, and the tip-off coming up when we come back after this 2-minute timeout.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission.
Incredible stuff. What an anthem. It just sets the stage for the Mustangs hosting the Thunder here on the Fan Sports Network. I got goosebumps about that anthem, Ben.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is, you got the packed house, you got the band, you got the ROTC, and now we got the national anthem keyed up. Woo!
This young lady, I mean, maybe a freshman at Crimson Cliffs. I mean, she's getting high fives.
Hey, that's the best of the year so far.
Oh, the pipes.
Tell you what.
You better watch for her on America's Got Talent or The Voice or something in the years to come. And now both teams will get ready for our House of Jump starting lineup. You can go bounce off their walls. It's encouraged. The trampoline indoor park that Southern Utah is raving about. In fact, they were Best of Southern Utah winners the last couple of years. And you can go bounce off the walls. Great for birthday parties and a lot of family fun. So head on over there this weekend and head it up at House of Jump. There's Chomp Jones. Chomp averaging 9+ points per game. Eli Allred, 14.7 per contest. And here comes Landon Esplin, the senior. And then you've got Lincoln Holmes back in the starting lineup tonight after a couple games coming off the bench for Coach Allred. And Boston Holbrook, the final to be introduced. And again, not a big lineup like we talked a lot about, but this team can get up and run, and they've been shooting lights out the last couple games.
Very similar in size to Cedar, but I think more explosive off the dribble. Obviously, we know they can shoot, and I think that's really going to be the story tonight, is if they get hot, if they get going, can Crimson combat that? And as you see right now, Dev, they went out in the center court, there's already you can feel the tension in the rivalry already with Desert Hills going out center court and they're saying, this is our house.
And Desert Hills did start with 2 rough losses. They lost to some good teams from up in Region 11, Skyview and Ridgeline. But since those 2 losses to start the season, they've won 8 out of their last 9 games, including their first 2 region games. Here comes the starters for the Mustangs getting introduced. First is Scoop Johnson, point guard, who will be tested defensively tonight. There's Jordan Eaton, mentioned him, the leading scorer for the Mustangs, and one of the leading scorers in all 4A at 20-plus points per game. And he's a low. They got to keep him off the boards tonight. Also, Phoenix McWillis missed some time, had an illness, but he's back in the lineup. Still Barbin, and then Houston Johnson rounding out the starting lineup. The coaches again for the Thunder, Chris Allred and Kent Fairborn for Crimson Cliffs. And it is electric. I mean, a little light show going on down here.
Yeah, laser light shows in here.
Now the Mustangs are firing their teammates up at center court. We'll put 8 minutes on the clock. And good news, we're still missing some parts of Pineview and Snow Canyon and Hurricane with the shot clock. But here at the field house, shot clock will be working tonight. The schools that have the parts they need have been using it all season long. Where they don't, they haven't been using them. And there's a little bit of frustration because I still haven't heard when those parts are going to come for those schools. And it's kind of a disadvantage for those schools not to get all the reps when they have home games with the shot clock.
Well, it's hard to get a rhythm and get used to it, and hard to kind of know what to do. You know, one game you got it, the other you don't. Look, some of these games come down to a couple of possessions, and you'd like to think that won't be a deciding factor, but it could.
Jump ball brought to you by Luke Udy, American Family Insurance Agent. And it's won by the Mustangs, right to the middle of the floor. Turn around, Jay. No, they slid the pivot foot. It's a travel and a first turnover of the game for the Mustangs. Something that they've really got to do a better job with. Hate to see that right out of the gate.
One of our keys to the game, and I think, that one is always a questionable one. It looked like he might have slid the foot, but, not a horrible one. I'm okay with a turnover when you can get it out of bounds and get going, but the ones where you hand it to the offense to come down in transition, it's a 2 or 3 or 4 point swing when that happens.
Thunder working on the perimeter. Holmes going to catch and shoot a triple. Nothing but the bottom. Lincoln Holmes gives the Thunder the 3-0 lead.
And Dev, it's what we talked about, right? That's the one guy you don't want to come out and let fire right out of the gate. You don't want him to get a taste for it early.
3-pointers all season long, brought to you by our friends at You First Credit Union, where they have you put first with all your banking needs. McWillis drops it down low. It's deflected and stolen away.
Dev, I always say a bad shot is better than a turnover, right? At least you get something up and have at least a chance.
Backdoor cut, but it's still the other way. And now it's still the other way as Allred picks off the pass. He tries to force feed it. It's kicked, and it'll stay with the Thunder.
And somehow we have 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for Crimson, and 1 for Desert Hills. And so you can see some of that nervous jitters. This is a big game for both of these teams. And so I think you look to see him settle in here over the next couple of minutes.
Inbounds goes to Holmes. Fresh shot clock after the kick. Now Holbrook on the wing, guarded by Johnson. Eaton right now is guarding Lincoln Holmes. That's what I anticipated happening, those guys matching up against each other. Saw that on the football field in the state championship game not too long ago. Now Holmes facing up. Doesn't look like he wants to try to dribble drive. 10 on the shot clock. Holmes now is going to go to work. Nothing there. Cut off by Eaton. Holbrook now with 7 on the clock. Esplin, kick it over to Eli. Eli's got to force something here. All the way down the lane, and he runs out of real estate, but he gets bailed out on a bump foul by Phoenix McWillis.
And that's where if you're Crimson, again, as we talk about the shot clock, right, where some of these kids aren't quite used to it, but in the NBA and in college and in some of these teams that have been used to it, you don't want to foul with anything less than 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Lincoln Holmes, Drano, nothing but the bottom of the net again for Holmes. He's got a quick 6.
And he gives the tongue out to the crowd. He's a guy that feeds off of his energy, and you don't want him going hot.
Thunder on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Appreciate Wilkinson's House of Lighting, keeping track of the score all night long. 6-0 Thunder. Mustangs need a bucket. Who do they go to? Jordan Eaton. He's going to give it up, though, to Scoop Johnson. Scoop, crossover, nothing there. Backs it back out. Now cross it back over. Gets to the middle. Off the window, no. Got his own miss. Puts back up a baseline shot and got it. Scoop.
Well, you got to give him determination there. Obviously, a little bit of a tough shot, but gets his own rebound and goes up nice and smooth. You'd like to see them steady the ship.
All red, quick jackknife, baseline J. That won't go. And now the Mustangs an opportunity to draw closer. Crimson down by 4 in the corner. Barbin, he'll hoist. Not this time. Rebound to Eli Allred.
A little bit of a quick shot, but still, we've seen Still make those.
Allred going down the middle, whistling a foul, blocked by McWillis. But first, we got an offensive foul called against the Thunder on a moving pick, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like an illegal screen there. Just kind of got the old hip check as he curved by him.
So that'll be Mustang basketball. Another chance to draw a little bit closer.
You know, we got 5 turnovers between the two teams in just 3 minutes. I think that'll subside. I don't think we're going to see this many turnovers the whole game.
McWillis, athletic move, missed it, got it back. That won't go. Put it back up again. No! A fourth time. No.
Sometimes you just have to come down and realize you're the bigger guy and just settle down and go up strong with it.
Holbrook spin move. That was maybe partially blocked. And here comes McWillis.
But, Dev, you see the difference McWillis makes in the game, his athleticism. For good or bad, he just mixes things up, and I think, you know, that was really hurting them in that Snow Canyon game.
That mid-range J from the free throw line won't go. It rattles in. Kind of take a look down, pop back out. 6-2 still, Thunder with the lead. 4:34 left in the first quarter. Chomp Jones to Eli Allred, guarded by Still Barber. Eli, double team comes, has to get rid of it, does to Holmes. Hoping for 55 points tonight, so we can get you all the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert after the game of the St. George Yogurtland. And there's a little mid-range JA for Eli Allred.
And that's his sweet spot. He's really crafty and good at that gather and raise up and use his athleticism to knock down a mid-range J.
Saw him dunk last Friday night. He's got some explosiveness. And an offensive foul. Eli Allred on the defensive end. There's an early nominee for our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game, and he was there in plenty of time.
And another turnover. You know, it's just difficult to not only stay in games, but to get any kind of momentum. And it's hard because sometimes, you know, as a coach, you don't want to make too big of a deal of it because then it almost feels like an identity for a team. But I think, you know, if you're Coach Fairborn, you got to kind of play through some of this.
You'd rather have a charge, though, once in a while than just a sloppy pass.
Yeah, again, that's one where you at least get it side out and you can set up your defense.
Yeah. Holbrook out top. Fresh shot clock for the Thunder. They lead 8-2 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
I think if we see a big bucket here by Desert Hills, probably an early timeout.
Allred, hesitate, drive the baseline. Kick it back out to Holbrook. Head fake, mid-range J. Didn't get the bounce. No good. Outlet to Barbin from Eaton.
And this really is where they're best, Evan, is in transition. You know, they get a stop and they get out and run.
Trailing shot won't go from Eaton. Offensive rebound. Houston Johnson who scores it.
They don't really have a dominant player that can really create for themselves. So when they can get a rebound, get out and run, and kind of mix it up and make things happen, they're at their very best.
And time again, we've seen Crimson early in the season feel like they're getting dominated, but you look up at the scoreboard and they'll make a run and it's a tie game before you know it. And there's a steal by Scoop, and then he is fouled. And so Scoop Johnson was thinking coast to coast after the thievery, but Thunder probably take a good foul there to slow that transition play down.
And for Boston, that's, you know, for kids at home, when you make it by, you get a defender on your hip and you actually get past them, the first thing you got to do is cross that ball over, because I call it old man's D, the old reach from behind and steal it.
Yep, and it worked. Inside Houston Johnson, up and under, looking like Britton Johnson.
Dad has to be happy up in the crowd, probably thinking to himself, I taught him that.
Good footwork by Houston Johnson. That's one thing I've noticed, and I've commented this earlier on a previous broadcast. He looks like he is really starting to be smoother and more mature and feeling into his body. Holmes going to work, backing down, and not going to work. Scoop, outlet, Barbin. Here come the Mustangs wanting to run to the field house. Triple in the air, got it. Give him 3.
Probably a timeout coming here if they don't get another good possession. I'd mentioned Crimson and Coach Fairborn might get a timeout, but another big basket for Crimson. I think you'll see it from Desert Hills.
Jordan Eaton with the U First Credit Union 3-ball, and all of a sudden the Mustangs have their first lead of the game. Mortenson's in for the Thunder. Also Jackson Holman in. Allred, Holbrook, and Holmes still out there, and Holmes lays it home.
That's what you want from a big-time scorer, is when things start to get a little dicey, you need someone to step up and steady the ship.
Back to a 1-point lead, 10-9 Thunder. 1:50 left in the first quarter. Entertaining game so far.
I think this is exactly what we'd hope for.
Oh, beautiful move. Houston Johnson
puts him in the spin cycle, crosses over, and babies it off the glass.
And that's the play that I'm talking about a minute ago, where he looks just so much more fluid.
Yeah. Genuinely, I grew up playing with Britton and have spent some time playing summer league ball with him. That's the kind of move his dad would do, just that graceful, use his length, extension, and lay it soft off the glass.
Inside Holmes again, no. Rebound scoop. Here comes Luke Johnson. Over to Barbin. Drives the baseline. He steps out of bounds. And another turnover for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Devin, the turnovers are just like, you can't pull away from a team. You can't go on sustained runs when you turn the ball over that much. And 5 turnovers for 7 minutes of a ball game, or less than 7 minutes. It's just too many. And I think that'll be a focus throughout the year, and they'll have to find some matchups that facilitate that. But
you kind of want to set a goal like, hey, if we could keep it under 12, but right now they're pacing for 20, which is too many for Coach Fairborn's liking and all the Mustang fans here in the building.
Yeah, in college we would shoot for 12 turnovers or less, and those were in 40-minute games.
Right. Playing a little shorter game here. Now the shot clock is dwindling down to under 10 here. Holman outside. Has his dribble. Now he uses it, gets it to Chomp.
Watch out for Lincoln over here.
Holbrook sensing the shot clock, so he'll step into a 3. Won't go, but not a bad shot considering.
Yeah. And early, we've already seen the shot clock be a little bit of a factor. Houston looked like he wanted to gun that one. You can tell he's feeling kind of spry tonight.
I'd go to him right now.
Yeah, well, he's got the size, and you look, Chomp's giving him the elbow in the back there, up on the elbow there, the extension. But I think this one we're going to see a last shot for Crimson. Probably try to get it to Houston again and see if he can create something, a little screen there.
Instead, Eaton will step out, take a triple no. Rebound by Holmes. They got time. Lead pass Holbrook, and he gets fouled before the buzzer, I believe. A little hesitation pump fake. And is it going to count for a foul? No, they're going to wave it off, I believe. No shot.
Well, boy, it'd be interesting to see this one. Oh, we got the Holbrook asphalt on Boston Holbrook. How about that? Nice work in the production truck there, Dusty. All right, as we look at the replay for the people back on the radio, it looks like clock running 2.
It's a foul first.
Oh, I think it's a foul.
I think he's on his back.
I think it's a foul.
I think there was still a second and maybe a half a second left. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout into the first quarter. A good one brewing. 11-10. Mustangs have the lead over the Thunder on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
And we are back at the field house, and if they were going to give a foul to Jordan Eaton, it would have already had shots for Desert Hills. I think it would have been on the shot. Instead, they wave it off. That was really close, but maybe a little break there for the Mustangs, and they take the 1-point lead here into the second quarter.
Well, that's the beauty of replay for us, right? It's easy to make that call, and we can see it 2 or 3 times. But a little bit of a blown call there, but you know what? It's region basketball. You might get that.
And it is a bang-bang play. The horn, the foul, kind of almost simultaneous. Thunder basketball here to start the second quarter. Dribble drive by Holmes, spin move up and under, tough and one for Lincoln Holmes. That was pretty, Ben.
It was a great spin move. I think you got to know in the scout, though, that's what he's going to try and do, have maybe a defender come from that weak side. But looked like he might have carried the foot there at the end. But if you're the ref, you're going, we'll give him that one considering.
Substitutions. How about Lincoln Holmes? 10 of the 12 Thunder points so far.
He's an energy guy, Dev, and I'll tell you what, you see as he looks at the crowd after that second 3, tongue down, he feeds off of that. And that can be good and bad, but I'll tell you what, when it's going good, it just gets hotter.
And he connects the N1 from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Appreciate Fabulous Freddy's, great sponsor of the Fan Sports Network and high school hoops here. Happy hour from 5 to 7 every day of the week. Get $5 off any wash. Download their new mobile app. You'll get a best wash absolutely free. There's a voucher in the app. When you download it, you can redeem at Fabulous Freddy's. Takeaway by the Thunder. Sweeten had it poked free.
I don't know if we'll give him a shot or a turnover. We'll be generous and give that a shot attempt.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go quickly to a shot.
I think if you're Crimson, though, it's like, look, you've got the size advantage. Just slow it down a little bit. Play to your strengths.
Holmes in the corner, way too strong. Might have rushed that one a little bit.
Crowd going to let him know. Obviously, that's the unfortunate thing about that is the crowd is going to share air ball for a couple of possessions.
Jordan Eaton shot in transition after a great catch, but couldn't get it to drop. Holman will take a three at the other end. He knew he missed it. He chased it down, but it hits the top of the backboard, so it's back to the Mustangs.
We got here a little bit early for the JV game and had a chance to see him. He knocked down 3 or 4 threes in the JV game, and you can see when he gets on the floor, he knows what his role is. It's to let it fly.
Actually a really good golfer, too. Got into a couple varsity events as a freshman, was in the state tournament as a freshman.
Kind of a common theme in our region.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll see big Sean Feltz. He's also one of the region golfers. Hasn't come into the game for the Mustangs yet, which would even give them a bigger size advantage. Did he have a dunk in the JV game?
No dunks. No dunks? No dunks in that JV game.
Inside to Sweeten. Sweeten, offensive foul. Eli Allred, take another look. He's kind of moving a little bit.
I think as he swivels that around, I think he's probably there, but I think he sold it more than he was in position.
Smart play nonetheless. He got the whistle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the scouting where you go, look, you know that Sweeten's a football player. He likes to be physical. You know, let him make the mistake and just be in the right position.
So Eli Allred takes his second charge. And again, we'll pick our defensive play of the game, presented by Morgan Pest Control. At the conclusion of this one, still early moments, second quarter, 6:10 to go. Eli Allred rising, but he can't finish at the rim. He tried to dunk it, lost control. Sweeten.
I thought we were going to see another play similar to Owen Mackey tonight, Dev. That was explosive.
Now Houston Johnson, hook pass back out top, and now the Mustangs doing what you want them to do, slow it down, a little more of a patient possession. Kick out to Still Barbin. He'll catch and shoot a triple. That won't go. Ball deflected into the backcourt, tracked down by Barbin, and they'll play on with the fresh shot clock.
Yeah, I think this is where you want to try and get some isolation to Houston.
Thievery by Holmes. Here comes Lincoln. And blocked away from the backside by Johnson. Johnson wants to go coast to coast. He'll spin to the middle. Kick back out. Barbin a triple. No, short. Offensive rebound, Sweeten. Stripped and stolen by Holmes. Another steal by Lincoln. Shots not falling for the Mustangs. Thunder will go back to work on offense with 5:12 to go in the first half. 13-11. Desert Hills leading by 2 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
And I think, Dad, this is the kind of game we'd hope for. You know, it's a close game. It's intense.
Chomp Jones. Is it a jump ball? Because it got stuck.
We've got the old wedgie.
No one likes
ball.
the wedgie.
You don't see that very often on a layup.
No.
But for our folks on the radio at home or in the car, Chomp Jones goes to his left, goes up for the contested layup, and it just gets stuck right between the backboard and the rim.
And
you
I
don't
think
see that
Johnson actually might have helped pin it there a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, we hope. We hope.
I got you, Chomp. Help you out there. Oh, inbounds to Scoop. He wasn't looking. He'll give it up and get it back. Controlled by the Mustangs. Taylor has checked in for the first time tonight for the Mustangs, and a whistle and a foul defensively.
You can see Chomp and Eaton going at it. That's one where you got to make sure if you're Eaton, you don't lose your composure because
they're laughing.
Yeah, Chomp's in there to try and mix it up and do that.
Addig will check in off the bench for his first
Another guy that can shoot it and create for Desert Hills.
Inbound to Scoop.
13-11, Dev. I think that's exactly what we hope for.
Scoring has kind of come in bunches, and then teams cooled off. I mean, nobody's really strung a nice 6-8-0 run together except for the start of the game for Desert Hills when Holmes hit those 2 threes.
Well, they don't look physically the same, but there's a lot of similarities in their game.
There's Big Sean off the bench and into the box score with a turnaround. Jay, that looks smooth.
He doesn't hesitate. He's a guy that if you're defending him, you're saying, look, he's a left shoulder, right hand turnaround jumper guy. Try and make him go right shoulder left.
Scoop denying the pass to Allred with the steal. Scoop all the way up and under, and they get a blocking call. Bucket won't go, and Scoop Johnson will head to the line in a tie 13-13 game with 4:11 left in the second quarter.
I think exactly, what we talked about in the pregame is both of these teams are so physical and they can be explosive at times in the game. But I don't know. I think our Holbrook, our yogurt dessert is going to be in danger tonight, Dev, at 55. But we're midway through the second, and it's 14-13 for Crimson after Scoop knocks that down.
Here's the good news. We got 2 other games tonight, so even if this one doesn't get a team over 55, we're doing all 3 games tonight because they're all on the Fan Sports Network. And Holbrook's such a great partner, and Yogurtland's such a great partner. It doesn't matter. If we're broadcasting the game, even the girls' games, if it's over 55, you still win. So make a note of that.
Love it.
Everybody wins when any region team goes over 55. Just head to St. George or Yogurtland before they close. But we are pacing behind a little bit here. Scoop with the free throws.
You just never know. I think we expected this to be a little bit tentative in that first half. I think second half they'll settle in and we'll probably see a little more explosive scoring.
Chomp out to Holbrook. Boston will get it back to Chomp. Circle around to Holman. Is it Holmes time again? He hasn't shot since he airballed that 3, I don't believe. Oh, he did in transition. He missed the lane.
Chomp heard you and thought, he said, I need to shoot?
I think that's his first attempt other than the lane that was blocked. And now it's loose, and Eaton controls it.
Probably should have been a turnover, but the athleticism of Barban there saves that turnover.
Heck of a season throwing the ball for Coach Wayne Olofopo and the Mustang football team, and now we got a moving screen on Jordan Eaton.
Yeah, and I know we've seen early in the season Eaton operate from up top on the 3-point line extended, but I think for him, see if you can get him in movement without the ball where he's coming off of a cross screen or a block to block. That's really where he can be. I think at this point, they're just saying, look, we're going to focus on him, body him, and make it difficult for him. So you got to set him up a little bit.
And maybe try to post him up a little deeper on the block.
Yeah, I like a block to block with somebody like Sean or even with Phoenix McWillis, and see if you can get a mismatch and do it that way.
Holmes will take a 3 and hit a 3. Brought to you by You First Credit Union. How about Lincoln Holmes? He's got 14, a game high.
Let's check the stats. 14
of the 16.
Oh my goodness.
And a takeaway and a nice save by Lincoln Holmes. Got it to Holbrook. Now ahead to Chomp. Finger roll lay-in. Got it. Here come the Thunder. A little 5-0 run, and they lead 18-15.
And Crimson's got to be careful right here, Dev. They don't want to see this slip out. Looks like they're going to run a little bit of a set play.
Yep, Coach Fairborn was signaling in, and it's to go down low to Feltz.
I like that. I mean, let's use the size. Let's get it inside.
And Feltz takes advantage of the size and softly lays it home. 18-17. Chomp Jones filling it. You first 3 from the left corner.
Well, he heard me critique his last shot, and he said, I can make these. I'll shoot 50%.
Good to see Chomp healthy after a couple seasons where he tore his ACL. It's happened once in high school, but twice is really tough.
Yeah, and I think that says a lot about him being able to rebound from that and come back strong. And
it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's not easy. It's real life. It's 8-9 months nowadays to really feel good and trust that knee again. Shot won't go. Save to Holbrook. Good play there by, was that Addig?
Yep, Ty Addig there with the diving save.
They'll go right back to Chomp. He goes right attack mode, too strong. A little heat check, hard drive.
That's one where I love to see these kids come to a jump stop. Like Donovan Mitchell last night in the Jazz game. He's so good at giving the head and shoulder fake. These guys sometimes get so rushed.
Offensive rebound on the Johnson miss. They get it over to Big Sean, a little baby. He could have dunked that one, I think.
You could see he was gathering for the dunk, and it just didn't. It was starting to slip as he raised up, and he thought, I better just get the bucket.
How about Big Sean Feltz? 6 points off the bench here in the second quarter.
Well, and we've said it all season, Dev. It's like we know Eaton's going to get the buckets. It's who else is going to fill in to get those extra 8 to 10 points that you need to stay in a game or win it.
Addig whips it to Holmes, but he didn't cut hard. I don't think he thought he was getting the ball there, and he was actually open.
Wide open, yeah, and you could see Attic taps his chest and says, "That's on me."
Maybe let him a little too far. Yeah.
It's the right play. And as a coach, I always was okay with if they were trying to make the right play, right? And the execution was just a hair off. That's one of those things that wasn't a blatantly bad turnover. It slipped out at that last second, but that was the right play.
It's a one-handed left-hand pass by Attic. And had he just thrown it a little more,
just a little softer, a little more on target, but it was the right play.
Yeah.
And so you got to be okay with that as a coach.
How many turnovers, Gage, is that for Desert Hills? That is just 5.
5, yeah.
Thanks, Gage. Gage running stats. Big Sean filling it. Not this time, though. Too strong. Holbrook tracks it down in the corner. And now we got 37 seconds left in the first half. There is a little bit of time on the differential between the shot and game clock. Holbrook to the middle. Kick out. All red. 3. Too strong off the iron.
Looked good from here, too.
Yeah, it was on line, wasn't it? Here comes Taylor. Over to Johnson. That's Scoop with it. Got Scoop Johnson. Real name's Luke. Does anybody call him Luke?
I don't think so.
Big Sean offensive rebound off the Johnson miss. Baby hook short. Rebound Allred with 12 on the shot.
And I think Coach Fairborn is saying he had his elbow hooked. Call the foul.
Down to 5 on the game clock. Allred driving in. Kick out. Esplin's got to shoot it. And does he get it off in time? No. Brian Abbott, our official, says no, and I think that's correct. I don't think it leaves the hand in time. And he didn't make it anyway. Missed shot there. And we got a good one brewing here at the half on the road. The Desert Hills Thunder have a 2-point lead, 21-19. Ben, your thoughts on a fun one so far?
I think an interesting first half. A little bit of what we talked about in the pregame, the Findlay pregame, is just kind of a little bit off balance a little bit. But I think the second half, there'll be some adjustments made in the locker room. I think if you're Crimson, you're saying, we got to keep them off the three-point line. Make sure and track Lincoln down. Don't let Chomp get going. And if you're Desert Hills, you're saying, okay, we'll take this. We'll take the physicality of this game and see if we can just kind of pull away in the second half with our defense and our three-point shooting.
And the first half, Lincoln Holmes putting on a show. He led the Thunder to a 2-point lead. Sensational half there for Holmes, but had some help. How about Big Sean coming off the bench? And really, Jordan Eaton really never got a lot going on. He only had that one three-point shot that he made in that first half. That's something that the coaches will go to the locker room and try to address.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if you're Crimson too, you're saying, look, if we can get inside and get Houston, get Phoenix, and get Sean some buckets as we go to the replay. And that's the thing right there. I know during the week that in these types of matchups and you're preparing in your midweek stuff, you're saying, look, the second a guy like Lincoln gets it, you can't give him an inch because his instinct is just to go up with it.
So the Thunder by 2 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. 21-19, they lead. Halftime coming up when we come back. Brought to you by Rally Stop. Stay with us on the Fan Sports Network and streaming this game on thefansportsnetwork.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, we're back here, Rally Stop Halftime Show. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, and Gage Fulford with us. Let's go over to Gage for just a second. And Gage, give us...
Hold on. We got to give him a nickname, the Professor.
The Professor. Well, on the show in the morning,
the accountant.
He's the gas man.
Gas man. You know what? I like the accountant.
I do too. For stats, let's go to Gage, the accountant.
Yes.
I think it's the glasses that
Yeah. The attention to detail.
All right. Well, for the home team, you got Sean Feltz and Houston Johnson with 6, Luke Johnson with 4, Jordan Eaton with 3, and they had 8 turnovers total. Desert Hills, you got Holmes with 14, Allred with 2, Chomp with 5, and that team has 5 turnovers total.
So Crimson does a better job in the second quarter, just 3 turnovers after 5 there in the first quarter. That stands out. And they got back in the game a little bit. But how about Lincoln Holmes putting on a show with 14 in the first half?
Yeah, if you're Desert Hills, you're thinking this is exactly what we hoped for. He comes out right out of the gate, knocks down a 3, and doesn't stop there. For Crimson, it's a little bit of how we've seen them play all year, is kind of slow starting, finding a way to stay in the game with their defense and intensity and also their rebounding. But Dev, this is one where I think we're going to see who made the most adjustments early here in the third quarter, and that could be trouble for either team if someone can pull away, because I don't think this is a game, what we've seen so far, where if somebody gets up 10-12, I think that might be it.
Yeah, I mean, shot clock obviously really came into play a couple times. There was a couple late possessions where Desert Hills had to rush a shot, but not a big factor there. We'll see. I mean, I think Big Sean needs more minutes in the second half. I think Houston Johnson, Jordan Eaton, Sean Feltz, I think they need to kind of go to that set play where Coach Fairborn went down to the low block.
Use your size, maybe throw, what I'd like to see is maybe throw a couple zone looks, maybe throw a couple presses after free throws. Just try and get Desert Hills out of that rhythm, because you see when they get it, they go in a rhythm. They're always pushing it up the floor. But I think it's going to be an exciting, I mean, this is exactly what we hoped for. If you just said, hey, Ben, it's going to be a 2-point game going into the second half between these two teams, I'd say you got it. And honestly, at this point, I don't know who's going to win, just because it'll depend on who makes the adjustments, who has the composure, who limits the turnovers and capitalizes in the second half.
Again, this is the Rally Stop Halftime Show. We welcome you in. Rally Stop reminds you, after cheering for your favorite team, whether you're heading there to cheer or going home after cheering, stop at your local Rally Stop, fuel up, grab some snacks on the go. This is not the only 2-point game. Let's get you some Nets on Fire Region 10 updates. Let's go over to the jungle where the Snow Canyon Warriors have a 2-point lead, 27-25 over Cedar. Cedar playing tough on the road tonight.
Well, interesting, yeah. I saw Cedar play last week. I know you've seen them play this season. They've got some shooters, and so if they can hit those shots. Interesting, though, because Snow Canyon got off to a slow start against Pineview in the game that Caden covered last week over at Pineview. So, you know, probably similar to that Pineview game. I expect to see them pull away. And what we've got
at the pit.
At the pit.
Dixie at the half.
All right, 34-22. Dixie over Pineview. I don't know. What do you think there, Dev?
12-point lead for the Flyers. Lemke is a problem for people. Jordy Roberts has been really distributing, and Coach Eve's doing a great job with you know, guys like Nash Schroeder and Griffin Shepard and Canyon Dickinson. But you know, this Dixie team is hungry. After losing the state championship last year, you kind of felt like Coach Roberts went out and played a bunch of summer league games, and they have had a redemption on their mind.
Yeah, I think back to I was listening to an interview you did in the morning show on The Drive with Coach Roberts, and you brought up the question, hey Coach, do you talk about that loss in the state tournament, in the state championship game? And I loved his response. He was like, yes, absolutely. We're hungry. We focused on it. We know what we did wrong and where we can improve. And you look at what they've done in the offseason and how they've approached this season, and you think, okay, this is a team that is out to get their revenge on the 4A division.
And they've got shooters. They've really put an emphasis on defense. I mean, Grant Carter wants to guard the best player on the opposing team every single night. Southwick and Robinson are snipers. I mean, they have a very balanced team, and everybody plays. And I think Coach Roberts does a really good job defining everybody's role.
Yeah, and that's critical. You know, we talk all the time. I remember, you know, we had a big guy on our team once, and he was wide open at the junction, and his thought, well, I'm wide open, so I should shoot it. Well, he wasn't a very good shooter, Dev. So the point is that you got to have the right guys taking the shots at the right time.
Right.
And the teams that can identify that and figure it out, they tend to excel. They tend to thrive, and especially when you've got guys that know their role. Look out for that Dixie team. I think that's the team to beat.
So again, your Nets on fire. Halftime scores. Dixie's up 12 on Pineview over at the Pit. At the Jungle, Snow Canyon leads Cedar by 2. And here at the Fieldhouse, it is Desert Hills on the road, up by 2, 21-19. Did you like speaking of shot selections from the Junction, did you like the shot selection by the Mustangs and the Thunder in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I think Desert Hills so far in the season is a little more polished in the sense of they know who should be getting the shots and getting them in the rhythm of the offense. Crimson, I think they're still trying to figure out, like we said, we know we have Jordan Eaton. Who is the other guy? And I think sometimes that's difficult because in some nights it's a Phoenix McWillis. Other nights it's a Scoop Johnson. And some nights it can be a Houston Johnson. And so not having that established second guy, it can be good and bad. And I think Crimson, when they figure that out, they could be really, really deadly.
All right, let's take a final 30-second timeout. This has been the Rally Stop halftime show. Score updates brought to you by Nets on Fire, and Boulevard Home brings you to the second half when we come back on The Fan.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
And I'll see you there.
All right, we're going to be watching closely in the second half for our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. I don't know if we've seen it yet. Still want a House of Jump dunk, so everybody get 1 hour free jump time. If it happens, we'll tell you how you can take advantage of that. And we appreciate Hearst Ace Hardware. They bring you our player of the game. We'll name one for each team. Real quickly, Gage, your thoughts on the second half, adjustment-wise?
I think you should give the ball down low for Crimson. You know, Sean Feltz and Houston Johnson are just absolutely shredding up this small ball Desert Hills. That's all you got to do there. And then for Desert Hills, I would probably just push it as far as you can, because if they're going to play big ball, go speed, go fast, go home.
I like it, Gage, with some second half adjustments. That's brought to you by our friends at Bay Equity Home Loans, Jason Baum.
Dev, I'm going to insist that we refer to Gage as the accountant from this point on.
The accountant.
I've got the nod from Dusty in the production truck saying, I agree too.
I think he wants to get into sports broadcasting, though, not in accounting.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Eli Allred gets an and one on a backdoor cut, scores it, goes to Fabulous Freddy's free throw line and hits it. And it's a 5-point lead just like that. Out top, Jordan looking inside to Johnson, doesn't go down there. Instead, he goes to the corner. Back out to Eaton. He'll hoist and short. Online, but short.
And I really like the idea of getting some block-to-block screening and maybe flashing a guy to the high post and playing a little high-low to take advantage of the size.
Holmes kick out to Eli. Over to Chomp, guarded by HJ. Back to Holmes, guarded by McWillis. You can see Desert Hills wants to pull everybody out of the paint, really spread the floor, and then get a cut to Holbrook, left-hand lane, got it, oh yeah. Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
Looked like he got him stepping out, but great play. I mean, you want that basket cut. That's the #1 rule. When a guy penetrates, you read your defender. If he turns his head, it's a backdoor or a basket cut.
Didn't count for points, but it was pretty, something they might try to go back to, and Crimson will have to try to do a little bit better job defending. Excuse me.
I think, Dev, we're going to see the our playmaker play of the game and the dunk in this third quarter. That's my bold prediction.
I love it. Love it. We'll see how it plays out. A minute into the second quarter, shot by Johnson, no, but a whistle and a foul got him on the arm, and Houston will shoot 2 from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line.
A little bit of a late call. I think that's the one, Dev, where you see the ref is watching to see if it actually is made, and if it's not, then they call the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw it on the replay there. What did you think?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot. Maybe after the ball had left, a little high five, light high five. That was
the old late celebratory high five.
Yep.
Well, it looks like, as the kids would say, the ball don't lie.
Johnson misses the free throw. 24-19. Desert Hills leading Crimson. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. Rory Bronson's back in the studio. Gage Fulford helping us out on the stats tonight. Dusty Allen, our TV producer. If you're almost home when you're headed home for your Wednesday night, you can watch the rest of the second half. Just go to our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. The links are up to watch the other 2 games going tonight as well. Keep you updates on those games as Eli Allred will splash down a triple. You First Credit Union 3 for Eli.
And that's a little bit of a backbreaker, because great defense and stopping the drive with Lincoln Holmes. You just lose track of a big-time shooter there. I mean, that's just, they had 3 guys on your shooters. That's rule number 1 against a 3-point shooting team.
Timeouts all season long, brought to you by Cache Valley Bank, your financial outfitter. Cache Valley Bank, mountains away. We'll keep it right here. They have yet to resume the second half over at the pit. So again, Dixie at the half up 34-22. And then that other game just starting the second half as well, and that's at Snow Canyon as they're playing Cedar tonight.
Another fast-moving game for us. It seemed like that Snow Canyon game was over in an instant. And a little bit similar here, where
Cedar is down 30-29. So that game has started the third quarter, as we have here. And Desert Hills comes out scorched in the nets. They're up 27-20.
Yeah, and you see that early timeout there for Coach Fairborn to say, hey, guys, look, we got to get a good possession. Let's calm things down and make sure we stay in this.
Jumper by Eaton won't go. He gets a friendly bounce. I spoke too soon. I'm going to whistle and a foul.
Okay, Eaton gets the turnaround jumper there, but it looks like a call for a pushing in the back away from the ball, so they'll get it side out. Dev, this is a little bit of an interesting rule. In the NBA and some other divisions, you get a free throw in that instance. In this, they're going to get the side out for a chance for a 5-point play, but it turns out to just be 2.
Boy, we saw, was it a 6 or 7-point trip by the Jazz last night?
Yeah, you were there first.
Yeah. It's funny thing is my wife loves basketball. It's her favorite sport to watch.
I didn't know that.
It is. She loves watching basketball.
Much respect for Robin.
Jazz were down 5.
More respect.
They were down 5. Jazz were down 5. She says, we need a 6-point play. And then they got it on that trip.
The old rock and jock 10-point basketball square for Robin is what she was asking for.
Goodness. It wasn't on the same play, but it was on the same trip.
See, Dev, that's the set I'm talking about, where you get kind of that block screen away so that you can get your big guy right on the block as opposed to out extended where it's harder to operate.
3 missed at both ends now, and rebound Holbrook. Here come the Thunder. Thunder up by 5, 27-22 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Eli Allred crumples down as he hits a shin of a defender and lost the ball.
You got to get something here if you're Crimson, Dev.
McWillis, no. Awkward shot. Outlet to Allred. Allred racing ahead. Left-hand lane, no. Esplin can't grab the rebound. Scoop takes it away, and here comes Scoop.
And I think he thought there would be some contact there.
Cross court to Johnson. Johnson down the lane. Finger roll. That won't fall. The lids are on. Eaton put back. No, but a foul.
Well, I would say probably not the most efficient 4 or 5 possessions.
Certainly
a little bit
not.
sloppy.
Yeah.
And this, I think, a little fatigue is setting in, I think, here in the second half. But you can see how hard they're trying. Each one of these teams wants to make the basket that will end it all. And sometimes you just got to get the easy one. Be composed. Luckily, you got a guy like Jordan Eaton that can get almost every rebound single-handedly. And something really strange, a 93% foul shooter airballs a foul shot.
And Jordan Eaton still just has...
He's got 5 right now.
Yeah, 5 points. Thank you, Gage.
Make it 6 with the free throw. Again, I think he was just as surprised as we were.
It's like, probably hasn't done that since like 6th grade. And he was probably sick that day. Allred Kick out. Chomp wants to fire a triple. That rims out no good. Rebound, Luke Johnson. Ahead
this
to
is where Crimson's their best, is in transition.
Eaton 3. Got it. There's Jordan Eaton. He's got 8 just like that.
And he and Chomp are going back and forth. It looks friendly by the smiles on their face, but something tells me it's not as friendly as it looks.
I think they're having fun, though. They're having fun with the matchup, I think. They've locked on each other since the tip-off.
Based on that little hip check right there, it doesn't look as fun as it maybe appears.
I'm not saying it's fun and it's not physical.
Hey, this is fun.
But at least they're smiling. Holbrook now trying to back down. He'll kick it out to Holmes.
Lincoln been quiet the second half, Dev.
He's going to work now. Spin move, too strong. Rebound, Eaton. Eating the glass.
Eating up the glass.
All of a sudden, the lead is down to 1. It's a 6-0 run, and Johnson turnaround. Jay looked good, but was short.
Everything looked good about that, and just a little bit short. But if you're Coach Fairborn, you love the look. You're getting looks from 4 feet.
Eli Allred. Back out to Esplin. Esplin to Chomp. Houston Johnson guarding Allred. Shot clock down to 13.
Got to be disciplined here, because I'll tell you what, you don't want to give up a foul late here in the shot clock. Make Desert Hill shoot a bad shot.
We'll go to Holmes with 4 and 3. Kick out Chomp. He'll have to rush it. It's blocked. And that'll be a shot clock violation and a good defensive stand by the Mustangs.
Great job. I think, if you're Crimson and Coach Fairborn, you're going, guys, that's what we've got to do to get into this game and pull away. But again, we see it all the time. It gets late in the shot clock. You work hard for all those 35 seconds, and then you get a cheap foul. Great job of being disciplined there.
T-Money Mortensen checking in. Esplin will check out. Also, Jackson Holman back in. And Eli Allred will get a quick breather with 3:21 and ticking. Not yet to our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game, because we're not to the fourth quarter and it's a 1-point advantage for the Thunder. And Eaton trying to change that. It rims around no good. Offensive rebound, McWillis. And we got a push down low, which is probably a good thing, because McWillis threw a bullet and it would have went out of bounds.
The old rocket 2-foot pass. Hard to believe. 7:26, 3:10 left, Dev. I think this is exactly what we hoped for.
Boston Holbrook got tagged with that personal foul. 3 won't go for Barber. Barber been a little off from distance tonight. Both teams probably shooting around 28-30% right now in the game.
Need the accountant to give us that kind of stat.
Asking you might receive. Holmes, ball fake, kick out, Mortensen. Holbrook, he'll hoist. Off the back iron, rebound Johnson. Ahead to McWillis, spin move, wrap around shovel pass, Eaton too easy.
I think Desert Hills is looking up and down the bench saying it looked like he gave him a full forced elbow to the ground. But the refs don't see them all, and they get an easy basket there.
11 now for Jordan Eaton. 8 coming in this third quarter, Ben. He's starting to get it going.
Yeah, he's starting to look really good. And, he's a competitor and an extremely good athlete. And so I think it's hard to keep him down for long.
Bad idea by Holmes.
I like this, too. Don't go and force it. Get a good shot. And that is a good shot.
Wide open. But Johnson can't hit the 3. Rebound Thunder. Chomp running ahead. Oh! He kisses it ever so lightly, and it drops through the bucket.
Well, he's giving Eaton a smile on the way down the court here, because I think he didn't know if that was going in.
Thunder back on top by 1, 29-28. 4 lead changes, and now I think 3 ties tonight. And a whistle and a foul defensively going against the Thunder. And we'll shoot 2. McWillis will be at the line. They'll call Taven Mortensen on the personal foul.
Haven't seen much substitution here in this third quarter. Looks like Desert Hills is going to go to a little even deeper in the bench here.
Coven Brazel will check in for the first time. Eli Allred back in. Holbrook and Chomp will get a seat.
And this is a good move, because Holbrook and Chomp have been going full steam. You got a minute 43. See if you can buy the whole fourth quarter for those two by getting them out now, so that they're fresh for the fourth quarter and have them finish it out.
And Big Sean had 6 points off the bench in the second quarter, seeing his first second half action. He's checked in with 1:43 left in this third quarter. Free throw no good. Empty possession there. Link guarded by Barber. Straight ahead to Allred. He'll hit a U-First Credit Union 3 straight away. Nothing but the bottom.
You can't let guys get that wide open on a shot. It's one thing if they're mediocre shooters, but Eli Aldred, he's a marksman.
Do you remember Craig Elo?
Oh, yeah.
He reminds me of Craig Elo for some. Eli Allred, I don't know why. Former Cleveland Cavalier. He was a shooter.
Well, I'd take that.
And there's a shot short.
From our angle, that looked right down the barrel, but luckily for Crimson, it wasn't. Tough shot. 1-on-4. I just think I liked what Eaton did, where he realized he didn't have the numbers, backed it down. They didn't get the shot, but they got a wide open shot.
Jackson Holman curling and shooting a 3. Everybody's got green light right now. Threes are not raining frequently. Scoop, mid-range J, got it. Baseline 18-footer. Coach Fairborn wants it. Cache Valley Bank 30-second timeout. We'll catch our breath here. Tight one brewing in the field house. 32-30. Thunder lead by 2 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Playmaker of the game.
For over 65 years, we have been part of your community, and we work to make a difference for every member, every day. And while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. Find out how it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First. Visit us at youfirstcu.com.
Morgan Pest Control has been killing what bugs you since 1962. Morgan continues to give back to the community with the 60 for Schools program. You can call 673-9172 or go to morganpestcontrol.com and just look for their red trucks.
Back to live action here. Desert Hills basketball. Just 35 seconds left in the quarter. Jackson Holman will take a triple. That's no good. I don't think Holman scored tonight. And a loose ball whistle. And it's going to be a foul on the Thunder.
And a cool little stat here, guys. Desert Hills only has 3 players that have scored, and that's Lincoln Holmes, Eli Allred, and Chomp Jones.
Tell you what, the accountant coming up with the stat of the night right there, I'd have never known. Only 3 guys have scored for Desert Hills. That tells you a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Coach Allred's going to want a couple other guys to get a couple points if they're going to win this road game.
I think it's hard to win with only 3 or 4 guys scoring. But you know what? In a short game like we have in high school, anything's possible, really.
Well, and there's been opportunities. I mean, Holman's had a few looks. Holbrook's had some looks, just haven't scored yet. McWillis behind the back, whip past to Big Sean, pass to the baseline, but not strong enough as Holman came down to recover and steal it away.
Yeah, and you see Coach Fairborn with the hands up expression there saying, come on, Big Sean, square up and make the right play. We've got to get a shot at this point of the third quarter when there's such a limited amount of time. You can't give them an extra possession.
So that'll do it for 3 quarters. We'll take another quick timeout. 4th quarter coming up when we come back. 32-30. Desert Hills leads by 2. High school basketball on the Fan Sports Network presented by Boulevard Home.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
As a player at the high school level, you'll live for 4th quarters, packed gymnasium, tight game, defensive battle, 32-30, Thunder lead by 2. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, off to the 4th we go.
I think it's exactly what we hoped for, a 2-point ball game heading into the fourth. The accountant, Gage, just told us that, we have a shot clock issue here. Shot clock didn't start. But the accountant just told us that Crimson only had 1 turnover. Tell us more, Gage.
Yeah, they only had 1 turnover in the half this half. Now they have a total of 9.
Yeah, so that's
interesting.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for them to consistently win ball games, they've got to keep it around 10 to 11, 12 at the most.
Well, they're trending in the right direction. They had 5 in the first quarter, 3 in the third quarter, and just 1 in the third quarter.
And that was a late, kind of a squirrely play late in the clock.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Desert Hills actually has more turnovers than them now, I believe.
Yeah, they have 10 now.
So they've ratcheted up the defense too, yet Desert Hills leads by 2. They've got the shot clock, and they'll put 32 and start ticking from there.
And we've got some youth on the floor with Drake Carroll and Trevor Taylor, both sophomores, out there with 3 seniors.
Inside to Taylor. Kick back out to Carroll. Still plenty of time on the shot clock, 15. Patient possession by the Mustangs. Turnaround 18-footer by Jordan Eaton. Oh, yeah.
And not a great shot for most people. That's his move. That's his move, and that's exactly what you want if you're Coach Fairborn. That's the shot you actually want.
He's shot ready. I'll say that about Jordan Eaton. He's always shot ready. Inside, Holmes, no, but a foul.
And this is a smart player. He realizes he has a undersized, youthful player in a sophomore on him. He just gets the ball on the block, backs him down, gets him out of position, and goes up through him.
And this might be the first time that Lincoln Holmes scores in this second half here.
Hey, update, Utah Tech women's basketball at the half. They lead Abilene Christian 43-38.
They've got a great team this year, Dev. I've had a chance to see a couple of their games. I know our whole Fan Sports Network has had a chance to get over there and see some of them play basketball. And it's a great environment, great atmosphere, and they've got a good team this year.
Tomorrow, the men will play, and then again on Saturday. So nice little homestand right now for Utah Tech. We'll have the games tomorrow and Saturday right here on the Fan Sports Network.
A little bit on cue. We talk about the limited turnovers and somewhat of a meaningless turnover going up the sideline, just trying to force it too much. We get a turnover for Crimson. That gets them to double digits. I think that'll be kind of the indicator here for the second half, is if they can limit those turnovers in this fourth quarter to make sure that they stay in the game.
7:16 to go. 1-point lead for Desert Hills.
And I like this matchup right here. Scoop versus Lincoln. A little bit of a switch off of Eaton on them.
Link has 15 tonight. Kick out to the corner to Allred. He's hounded by Eaton.
I would not want to be trapped in the corner with Eaton.
No, your heart rate goes up a little bit. Drive, kick, extra pass. Holbrook, great look at a 3, and it's off the mark.
He wants that one back. Felt like he might have just rushed it a little bit.
No look pass to Taylor. Spin move. Mid-range J left it short. Loose ball tracked down by Holbrook. Fighting McWillis, can't grab it. The Taylor move looked great, but the shot well short. And now the Thunder trying to go back to work offensively. Allred over to Holmes.
Look for Lincoln to attack here.
He's going to go drive on the baseline and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, and you can see he's just so athletic. This is a guy that's played several years at the varsity level. He gets a guy off the bench, undersized, and he goes, okay, I'm going to wait for it to clear out, and I'm going to attack, get the foul or the basket. In this case, he gets the foul.
McWillis, Taylor will check out, Sweeten and Barbin back in. Inbounding Allred. Goes into Holmes. Fresh shot clock here for the Thunder. Game clock at 6:15, fourth quarter. 1-point game. And we got a 3-second call.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 2.5, but I'll tell you what, Crimson's defense continues to be the story for me. I mean, this plays far more to Crimson's style than it, I think, does Desert Hills. As you see, they scored 80 on Hurricane last week.
Yep. Eaton. Game high 16 as he hits a U First Credit Union 3-ball.
And as Dave says, eating them alive.
16 now for Mr. Jordan Eaton. Holmes pacing the Thunder with 15, but he's only got one free throw in the second half right now.
Momentum feels like it's shifting a little bit towards Crimson, even if that foul right there with some free throws go. But you feel like this is more Crimson style of play. Doesn't quite feel like Desert Hills has the rotations that they want figured out. I think that's this is where the Euro has been a great enhancement for the game, the Euro step. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than just coming under control, jump stop, knocking it down or dishing it to the guy chasing down the lane.
Yeah, you can avoid contact, that's for sure. Holbrook pestered out top. Still keeps his bounce going. Now get it over to Allred. 20 on the shot clock for the Thunder. 37-37. Will we need extra time tonight to settle this one at the field house?
Dev, it kind of feels like an overtime style game, doesn't it?
Chomp Jones 3-0. Offensive rebound. See how high Eli Allred went to get that rebound. Eli will put it on a drive. Jackknife 17-footer, no.
Probably 2 or 3 feet past his sweet spot for that kind of shot.
But they track down another offensive rebound. Chomp Jones gets to the ball. Sweeten bumps into him as he was going full speed trying to get there. And they call Jay Sweeten on a bump foul.
And what Dev will be bonus the rest of the way out. Both teams in that bonus. 8 fouls for Desert Hills, now 7. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Next foul will be bonus for Desert Hills. Bonus for Crimson. So Desert Hills will be shooting 1 here with 8 fouls. And that could be interesting to watch.
This could slow the pace down a little bit. And free throws will be valuable down the stretch. Chomp Jones will have a chance here. Too strong, missed it. Offensive rebound, Lincoln Holmes. Holmes drives the baseline. Pass over to Allred. Passes on the 3. Kicks back to Holmes. He will take the 3 and airball it. Short. Crowd likes that in the student section of the Mustangs.
Probably a tip ball, but crowd sees that as a pure air ball.
Good closeout if it was tipped.
Spacing just an issue for Crimson. They get those 2 guys on the high post, a little too close to each other. I always like the idea, if you can guard 2 guys with 1 guy, you're probably not in the right spacing.
They do get a foul, though, and McWillis will head to the line.
And Dev, we're in crunch time. 37-37, 2.5 left. I would probably suggest, or not suggest, I'd probably anticipate at this point that these are the 10 guys we see all the way through.
Yeah. Although right now both teams struggling to score. I mean, low scoring game tonight. Not sure if we're going to get the Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert in this one. Front of it, a 1-on-1 is missed, but an offensive rebound now by the Mustangs. So both teams having trouble clearing on the glass defensively. Eaton mid-range J, that won't fall. Scoop Johnson underneath, he left it short, got it back, and that won't go in. Somebody get the lids off in the field house.
Sometimes it goes
hanging on the rim.
Sometimes it goes from bad to worse. You have 2 or 3 looks at it, and then Eaton, you see, he literally was pulling his hair out, thinking, "I shouldn't have fouled." We're now in the bonus. We're giving him a free trip, and again, I love the way he plays the game. So, if I was a coach, he would probably be the hardest guy to get upset at because he just plays so hard. Even when he makes mistakes, he's hard to get mad at.
Agreed. No question about it. Allred to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. First one is good. He earns his second one. Just a reminder, we got some awards, a lot of awards, like our Jersey Mike Sub of the Game we'll name. And that'll be in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. But still, this game is in limbo. Allred second free throw, good. Desert Hills now leads 39-37 with 2:12 left to go. We're going to call this our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. If you need that crucial part, go see Bose Auto Parts, but we'll have to wait till after a full timeout. We'll make this a 45-second timeout. Back to the field house. Thunder lead by 2 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Here we go. Crunch time at the field house. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. We got Rory back in the studio producing on the Fan Sports Network. Dusty Allen producing our video stream.
The accountant.
The Fan Sports Network. And Ben giving a lot of love to the accountant tonight because Ben doesn't have to keep his own stats.
That's right. That's right. I got the human accountant, the human calculator, Gage.
2-point lead for the Thunder. How about Scoop Johnson, Gage, working on a double-double?
Yeah, he is working on a double-double right now. He's got 6 points, but he does have 10 rebounds.
Okay.
Interesting. From that guard position.
10 boards for Scoop tonight. They go into Houston Johnson. Turnaround jumper just left it short.
I like the play. I like it. Everything was great until it hit the rim. Well, I was wrong, Deb. We got a substitution here. Looks like he's got, who did he take out?
Barbin's in. Jay Sweeten came out. Is that what you're talking about?
No, for Desert Hill.
Oh, Jackson Holman is in.
Yeah, who did we take out there?
I do believe he was in their last possession as well.
And whistling a foul out top. The only starter not on the court right now is Landon Esplin. And Holman is in here. With 1:23 to go as Lincoln Holmes was fouled. They'll head to the line now. Double bonus the rest of the way here.
Right now, 2 points feels like a lot. 3 feels even further. Crimson's got to get a bucket here to make sure that this thing doesn't become an 8-point game with foul shots, because they can't combat this right now. They're in the double bonus. They're going to get 2 the rest of the way. Got to go to a set play down here and get an easy bucket if you're Crimson.
Holmes trying to connect on the second. Got it. Big night for Link. He's got 19 now on the night to lead the Thunder in scoring, but Eli Allred has provided a nice 1-2 punch in that column tonight. Those two combining for all but 7 of Desert Hill's points, Ben. Eaton, triple, no. Loose ball rebound, Eaton over to McWillis. He'll take that 3 and get that 3! 1-point game, Phoenix McWillis.
And he gave a little kiss to the crowd after this thing. Could have been a foul, Dev. That could have been the actual 4-point play that Robin was looking for at the Jazz game.
We'll keep it right here. Cache Valley Bank timeout. Man, it hasn't been pretty. It hasn't been fluid. It's been a slower pace, but this game is still on the line, and both these teams want this one badly. I mean, Desert Hill's trying to go to 3-0 in region play. Crimson's trying to get to 2-1. I know it's early, but these early season region games can mean oh so much come late January, early February, and then when you get into late February, sometimes you're behind too far to try to win a region championship or try to get a top 4 seed in the state tournament.
Well, and it sounds cliche, but this is one of those games you hate to see anybody lose because it's so close. But at this point, this could be a little bit of a momentum moment for Crimson with that big 3 right there. If you can go down and get a stop, I think you come down and you've got the pressure on Desert Hills now. If you go down and you give an easy bucket and you go down 3 or even 4 with just a few minutes left, I think that could be trouble for Crimson.
If Crimson wins this game, that Phoenix McWillis 3 might be our Appliance Soul Sailors
Well, and Scoop had that. He had that little tip-out rebound.
That was huge.
They probably could have called a foul there. Thank goodness they didn't. Ball gets knocked over to Phoenix. Phoenix knocks down the 3. We got a 1-point game with just 1 minute.
Yeah, the value of the basketball. Both teams got to be smart in the foul department, too. 7 fouls, so 1-and-1 situation if the Mustangs get fouled. If Desert Hills gets fouled, they'll shoot 2 the rest of the way, folks.
And you got to believe Desert Hills right now is going to try and milk as much of the clock as they possibly can. Ooh, great backdoor play, up and under.
Athletic shot, but it does not go for Eli Allred. That would have been highlight reel material had he made it.
That would have been our playmaker play of the game, I think, right there. And I was wrong. We didn't get our dunk in the third quarter. Who knows? Maybe a chippy back tip and a... Oh.
There's Scoop Johnson. He's got 8, working on that double-double. He gets a deflection, and Crimson's up by 1. It's a 5-0 run by the Mustangs in the student section. Loving it.
I was going to say, Dev, do you call a timeout here?
Yes, you do.
How much longer? I think at this point, kind of hard to believe. But look, I always like to watch how teams respond in these types of situations. You know, are they dejected? Are they heads hung low? Desert Hills clapping, let's go, let's get locked in. They got a chance to win this thing with 18 seconds left, where if you're in Crimson's huddle, you're saying, guys, dig in for one more stop.
Let's go to Gage. Gage with some stats brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. Gage, what do you got?
All right, you got Jordan Eaton now with 18 and 10.
Okay.
And Luke Johnson is working on that double-double, 2 points away from it.
Yep, leading scorer there, clearly Eaton. Houston Johnson's chipped in 7. Sean Feltz had 6, but those all came in the first half. Desert Hills led by 19 from Holmes and 15 from Eli Allred. And I think you want Eli or Holmes to shoot this shot on this possession with just 18 seconds on the game clock for the Thunder after that timeout by Chris Allred.
Well, you mentioned it about 15 minutes ago. Are we looking at overtime at this point? Mathematically, a little bit hard to imagine right here unless there's a foul and only one free throws made, but looks like the crowd's into it, Dev. I mean, you can hear them through the headset. They are into this crosstown rivalry just as much as we are up here in the broadcast booth.
Both student body sections have been great. Crimson's at home, so they probably outnumber the Desert Hills student section, but they're taking that whole corner section all the way to the top. And here we go.
Best crowd we've seen so far, certainly.
Yes.
I think they only get bigger from here with matchups coming.
Clock running now. Chomp on a weave.
That backdoor play again.
Holman over to Holmes. Now 10. Holmes to the middle. Got all the way to the rim. It's blocked by McWillis. And rebound Eaton. And Eaton is fouled.
Dev, we got to see this on the replay because it looked like a clean block. But let's look closely as Lincoln goes to his left, the scoop, and I think he was right. It had hit the glass.
That should have been
before McWillis. It should have been goaltending in the bucket.
Yeah, it should have been.
And you see Coach Allred out there twirling the finger, saying, "Can we go to the replay booth?" Only at this level, there's nothing there. And right now, his coaches have got to go get him. They're asking for. His coaches have got to hold him back there. He's fired up, and you know what, Dev? He should be.
Yeah, that did.
Can we see it one more time, Dusty?
It was so close, but I think you're right. I think he pinned it on the glass.
Folks on the radio, Lincoln goes to his left, comes back to the right.
It's close. It's
and
close.
I think it just hits the glass. But you know what?
Hey, both coaches, I mean, if Coach Fairborn and you call goaltending, you're probably upset. If you go the other way, Coach Allred clearly upset. He still wants an explanation.
A little bit off on a tangent. This is what I like about the European game is it doesn't matter. You should be able to block it at any point. That way you remove one more.
They are conferring now. After Coach Allred, I don't know how you change this.
I just don't. Well, okay.
They've talked.
Abbott's going over there. Let's see what he says, Dev, as he struts over.
Now, if they talk and say, did it hit the glass, can they change this at this point in time? There's no replay to look at. We know that. But can they say, you know what, I think that was.
Okay, and so he's telling him one more time, Coach, enough. I don't need to hear anymore. We didn't call it. But this is hard as a ref. I think they're going to, they'll probably watch our simulcast later tonight on our website.
It's
like most people do. And they'll go, we might have missed that one.
It's a tough call.
But I'll tell you what, Eaton's got to make these free throws.
Yeah, game's not over.
Yeah, he's a 93% foul shooter. Oh, it looks like a little ice from Desert Hills. 4 seconds left, 42 for Crimson, 41 for Desert Hills.
We'll keep it right here.
Tell you what.
This is guys like Jordan Eaton, though, they want to be at the line in this situation.
He shoots 93%. I happen to see what I think was an air ball free throw. We'll have to give him a hard time about that.
Let's go back to that last play, if we can see that one more time, Dusty, the goaltending call, because Coach Allred certainly was frustrated. I don't think we have it there.
Oh, he's got it. Dusty says, you want it?
Does it hit the glass? Yeah, I think it does.
Dusty, give it to us one more time. I'm gonna get in real close.
We need a telestrator for Ben.
It hit the glass.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Barely.
You hate to see it decided on something like that, but you know what? Still got free throws, and we got 4 seconds. We've seen Jordan Eaton go the length of the floor and hit a half quarter to send a game into overtime. Even if he makes 2 of these, it's going to be 44-41 with 4 seconds. If you're Crimson, do you foul?
Yeah, you're up 3 with 4 seconds.
I think so, too.
You foul before the shot. And try and burn 2-3 seconds.
Try and get it going away from the basket. And see if you can get a wraparound or something like that.
I would, but we'll see what Eaton does from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. He missed it. The ball's tipped. Here comes Chomp. 3 and 2. He's got to shoot a 3. It's going to be no good. Crimson wins it 42-41. And the bands are on the court at the field house.
The band is on the field. Actually, the band is in the stands, but the student section is doing the celebratory jump over center court. What a great game, Dev. Everything we'd hoped for.
42-41. Crimson improves to 2-1 in region play. Desert Hills drops to 2-1. And I think both these fan bases will look forward to the rematch at the Thunderdome.
I got to make sure you and I are on that call. That's going to be an intense environment. And I don't think Desert Hills will forget what happened tonight.
A huge 3 by Phoenix McWillis late in this game when it looked like Desert Hills was going to maybe ice it from the line. And Desert Hills goes down here at the field house. Crimson celebrating again the final on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Mustangs Mustangs 42, Thunder 41. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll clean it all up in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. A lot of awards to hand out, final look at all of our statistics, and a wrap on this game. And we'll try to get you some finals on the other games tonight. I can actually already tell you Dixie has won over at Pineview. We'll get you an update on all those final scores. Stay with us. Postgame show starts when we come back.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing.
Something happened. Like he was like this the whole
and they have the resources and capacities of a large bank. Whatever your ambition, Cache Valley Bank team has the tools to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics.
Hey, a thriller tonight. Mustangs win at 42-41. Officially want to welcome you into the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist on the call. Gage running stats tonight, helping us out. Dusty, Rory, camera people on the simulcast. Great job, everybody. And we put a bow on this one. And if you need your kids to get a dental checkup, the new patient special, $79, cleaning, exam, x-rays, call Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Get scheduled today, 656-0511. And Ben, fun one tonight. Low scoring, defensive battle. Neither team shot a great percentage. Partly because of turnovers, partly because of just how intense this rivalry has become.
Well, after a Friday night of blowouts last week and a couple of games in the 70s and in the 80s, we get a defensive battle here at Crimson tonight. 42 for Crimson, 41 for Desert Hills. I think this is exactly what you'll probably see from them in the next matchup. And if you're Crimson, this is the way that you're going to have to probably kind of play. I think the 40s is probably pretty low, but this is how they're going to stay in the game. And if you're Desert Hills, you're in the locker room talking about missed opportunities throughout the night.
All right, let's go over to Gage Fulford, our accountant for tonight. And Gage, let's run down first the individual scoring for the Desert Hills Thunder.
All right, so you got Leakin Holmes with 19. Eli Allred with 15, and Chomp Jones with 7. And that rounds out the scoring for them.
That's the big surprise. Only 3 guys scored.
Yeah, and I think as they go back and watch the film, they'll say that as much as, guys, we need more people involved. And they had opportunities. That's the thing is, you know, missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
That was a Holbrook score, but he stepped out of bounds.
A lot of wide open shots. You know, and I think it's just one of those games that unfortunately, somebody has to lose. I know it's cliche, but 1-point heartbreaking loss for Desert Hills. Crimson, you're on top of the world for 2 nights before you have to go to Hurricane and play them.
Yeah, Hurricane probably scouting this game tonight on a bye. They've got the night off. For Crimson Cliffs, let's run down the scoring.
So you got a tie with Jordan Eaton with 18, Luke Johnson with 8, Houston Johnson with 7, Sean Feltz with 6, and Phoenix McWillis with 3.
And McWillis, that 3, probably your Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. Wouldn't have happened without Scoop tipping out to him, but that was a huge bucket late in that game. The only points of the night for Phoenix McWillis, but they needed it.
Timely points, kind of a bang-bang play. Scoop Johnson flicks it out on a rebound. Jordan Eaton grabs it, sees the open guy. Phoenix doesn't even hesitate. Might have been fouled on the shot.
Yeah.
Lets it fly, and sometimes it's not about how many you score, but when you score them.
So we'll name our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. Phoenix McWillis, the triple that ultimately propelled Crimson to the 1-point victory. It's easier than you think to buy direct and save. Just go over there across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. They're open to the public. Beautiful showroom. GE, Samsung, washers, dryers, refrigerators.
They got it all over there.
They do. Great. And locally owned and operated. Go support local. And they've got a ton of inventory, great selection from all the profile. And they have these new refrigerators that actually come with the little pebble ice, which is the hot trend I hear around Southern Utah. People like that pebble ice.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife about that. She'll want it.
Appreciate Appliance Wholesalers Plus. It's kind of tough, but let's break it down. Our Hearst Ace Hardware players of the game. For the victorious Mustangs, is it easy? Just give it to Eaton almost every game, but was Scoop more impressive tonight? I mean, almost got the double-double.
I think Scoop did some of the little things that you need from a point guard, but I think the guy, when the momentum shifted, was Jordan Eaton there. He just kind of got them going when they weren't getting any buckets. He made a couple tough contested shots. But a great team win for Crimson. And again, I think if you're Desert Hills, you're walking out of here tonight feeling like you missed an opportunity.
Yeah. As for Desert Hills, Holmes and Allred, dynamic duo there. You could go with Holmes every night, but he really was great, especially in that first half. But you got to give a little credit to Crimson. They kind of slowed him down. 14 points in the first half, only 5 for Holmes in the second half. Maybe should have had 2 more. On the questionable call, was it goaltending? Was it not? Official said it was not. Clean block. The foul came, and then the tip pass. And then still, that said, Chomp had a little 3-point runner, but didn't get it to go, and Crimson is victorious. But thanks to Hearst Ace Hardware, as we name Lincoln Holmes, and we'll go with the 2 stars, really, these 2 teams, Jordan Eaton, as our Hearst Stores players of the game of variety products at prices that please. Conveniently located heart of downtown Cedar City and St. George. Ace is the place. Our Morgan defensive play of the game, it's almost got to be that block by McWillis, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, even though the replay suggests that it had hit the glass first, that was
the difference.
The difference in the ball game. I think, you hate to see it come down to a play like that, but I love it. I love that they played through the whistle, gave the ultimate effort there, and sometimes you get away with those, and you could look at any play in the game. That's the hard part, is that with a 1-point game, as a coach, you're looking at everything going, if one thing would have happened different here, maybe we come out on top, and if you're Crimson, maybe if one thing happens here, we don't come out on top. And that's the tough part about these types of games, but it's also what makes it so exciting for us and for the fans, that we get to see such a great basketball game on a Wednesday night.
I was excited. I couldn't stop thinking about this match. I was driving home from Salt Lake today, and it was just all excited. And now I'm excited for the rematch, which will be, 4 weeks away. But
well, and look, Gage, Devin's not going to tell you this, but the reason he was driving up from Salt Lake is he received a prestigious award from the state of Utah Athletic Association for media. And I mean, look, I've only called 3 or 4 games with you, but I'll tell you what, it's an honor, it's a privilege. This guy is the GOAT of high school sports, not just in the state of Utah, but in my mind, across the great states of America.
And it truly is an honor to just be working with them every single day. Just
stop it, you two. Stop.
Hey, listen. Dusty gave us the thumbs up. I know he supports us, the whole Fan Sports Network. We got a great group, and at the top is you, Dev. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I was up there. Blaine Munkers was named 4A Coach of the Year. My good
deserved.
buddy Jason Jacobson, Canyon View head baseball coach for many years, was honored. It was cool to see. There was 17 people honored today, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Got to spend a little time with the wife. Got to go to a Jazz game and to get that award. It was a lot of fun and
well deserved.
And can't wait to do more high school games. We're not done yet, though, guys. One more award, Jersey Mike, sub of the game. I'm leaning Big Sean again tonight. Those 6 points.
Yeah, in a one-point game, 6 points might as well be 20.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a difference maker, and I think both teams didn't rely on their bench as much as they have throughout the season. So a guy that comes in and gives you 6 points, and when you look at Desert Hills, when you only have 3 guys that score, I think it's it's Sean Feltz.
Yeah, I think Sean Feltz is your Jersey Mike sub of the game.
Oh, I could do Mike's way right now. I could go over there, get the oil, the vinegar, the onions, the lettuce, the tomato, the spices.
They're hot subs too. If you haven't tried their hot subs, pretty good. The Big Kahuna.
I got to find out what time they close. I got to get over there, hoping it's.
Thanks to Jersey Mike's and thanks to all our great partners. Couldn't be on the air. Bringing you. Hey, we had all 3 games tonight for you on the FanSportsNetwork.com.
Where's our cruise going to be on Friday night?
Friday night we got a big one. You might have heard because these two teams happened to play for the state championship last year at a packed Burns Arena. We're going to be at the hangar for the Flyers and the Warriors. And I can tell you this, they both won tonight. And so Snow Canyon and Dixie are both undefeated in region going into that game on Friday night. We'll have it right here on the Fan Sports
Somebody
Network.
will have to lose. I think we'll have Devin and Caden over there for that call. I think that's what it's looking like early.
I'm in Vegas, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You're going to miss it.
I can't believe it.
That's right. Who do we have on the call? We got Caden
Mark and Caden and maybe Casey.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 3-man booth.
Maybe.
We got so much talent in the box, excluding me, of course. Someone has to get sick or have something happen at home for me to fill in.
I was planning on that game, and then my wife said, I really need you to take Reese to a soccer game in Vegas because I got to go to drill competition with my other daughter in Salt Lake. So my wife just got back from Salt Lake. She got to go back up there on Friday. So
family first, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, we'll have it for you. It'll be a great broadcast, and it should be a very, very entertaining game between the Flyers and the Warriors. That'll be our next broadcast on a Friday night. By the way, Dixie did win tonight. These are Nets on Fire final scores, building champions on and off the court. Appreciate our partnership with Nets on Fire. Check them out. They got training packages available. You want your kid to play some varsity basketball at some point in time, get them started there. They got weekly sessions available for a great low price. Just go to netsonfire.org and check it all out. Dixie wins 72-49. Snow Canyon wins 59-40. So both teams.
So they pulled away like we thought.
Yep, both teams. And then this one, of course, 42-41. Crimson wins it by 1 over Desert Hills. This is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Appreciate Adams Wealth Advisors bringing the stats all night long and all of our great local businessmen and women. Final thoughts before we sign off on this one, Ben?
I think it was exactly what we hoped for. Tough region matchup, cross-town rivalry, and it came down to just a few possessions at the end. I think that could have gone either way, and I think we're going to get a great game when these two teams meet at Desert Hills.
Do want to mention one more thing. Our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game. They also are our 60 for school sponsor. So another $60 donated to Crimson Cliffs for a region win.
Great.
They're celebrating 60 years in business. We've been doing this all the way through the spring sports and the fall sports and culminating with the winter sports. And so Morgan is going to write a check to each school as soon as the basketball season is over. And I'm guessing it's going to be 15-20 grand for all the region wins across Washington County. So
amazing to see local sponsors and businesses support high school athletes and students.
Yeah.
You know, so much is done for these high school kids, certainly a great benefit, and just goes to the type of community that we live in, and certainly a thanks to them for making it possible for us to do this.
Yep, that's going to do it. Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show where it's a final tonight. The Mustangs are running wild in the field house, 42-41. They beat Desert Hills. And again, Dixie and Snow Canyon, both undefeated in region play. Hope to have you back on the live stream or the radio Friday night, 7 o'clock from the hangar Until then, good night from Crimson Cliffs High School. You've been listening to basketball on your local leader, the Fan Sports Network. Good night.